Feels like a huge game today for the New Orleans Saints. A lot of stuff is on the line, I think, for Spencer Rattler. I think this is a huge game for him because if he gets a win today, I think it sets him up to maybe hang on to this job for a while. If he doesn't, what happens then? This video is presented by Matt Bauer's Auto Group. So I think it's a huge game for Rattler because if he gets a win today, I think it sets him up to be in position to really, really take control of this quarterback battle. And he has played really well to this point. And I think that his play probably is somewhere in that top two quadrants of quarterback play. NFL.com had their quarterback rankings come out a couple of days ago. I think he was 22nd in that, and that probably feels right. And I think there's room for growth above that. I think he's trending the right direction. But at some point, you do have to win football games. And if he wins this one, I think it puts him in a position where next week doesn't really matter as much against the Bills. You can go up there and you can get smoked by them, and you aren't sitting on an 0-4 record. There isn't any conversation about where you exist or anything like that. But if he wins today, I think all that pressure is kind of out of that next game. Now, he can lose today and play great and still be in the same position, but I think a win resonates a little bit differently. So it's going to be a huge, huge game for him. And it might be setting up for him to at least have some type of advantage compared to what the Seahawks are supposed to be. Julian Love isn't playing today. Witherspoon isn't playing today. So that's probably their two best players in their secondary are out. But that front is crazy with all those guys up there. They got Byron Murphy and Reed and Tank Lawrence. And they just got a lot of different ways to get after you. And the Saints are going to be down two offensive linemen. Fuaga's not playing today. And Penning almost certainly is not going to play today. I think he'll just be there for emergency purposes. And that probably puts Torricelli Simpkins at guard and Awesome Richards at the other tackle spot. So when you are evaluating Rattler today, I think you have to keep that in mind that the protection level isn't going to be there the way it normally would. Now, I am curious to see what being down those guys does to the game plan. The Saints, historically, if you can call two games out, but the two-game trend has been to sit back in shotgun. Didn't play action a lot week one, play action a little bit more week two, but play action is quite different from a shotgun position than it is under center. A lot of times when you're doing it from the shotgun, is about creating some timing more so in your passing game than it is about really trying to fool the defense or get them out of position. I wonder if that changes today. I wonder if we see more under center stuff, more play action stuff to actually get those pass rushers off a little bit, set that offensive line back or the defensive line back a little bit, take a little pressure off your O-line and allow them a little bit more space to operate. But this is historically been Kellen Moore's preference is to play shotgun. So maybe they just try to go about it business as usual. But I wouldn't be shocked to see a little bit of change there with the front and how they try to operate, from under center versus shotgun. So it'll be interesting to see how that sets up today. Big game though. And I think the key to victory really is just, and this is not a deep thought, but I think against a team like this, you have to find a way to get some turnovers and you have to find a way to protect the ball. And that's going to really be the key to this game. I think the Saints are going to have to steal some possessions. They're going to have to widen their margin for error because there are just so many weapons on this Seattle offense. Kenneth Walker, great running back, averaged 8.1 yards per carry last week. Najigba's healthy. He's going to be playing. So that's not an advantage you're going to have there. Coming off the flu yesterday, he's going to be fine playing. And Cooper Kupp looked like an absolute dog last week against the Steelers, looked like his old self. So a lot of stuff that they're going to have to figure out how to stop in the secondary. And there's a lot of weapons. So I think creating some breathing room, getting some turnovers, I think it's paramount today. If you're trying to white knuckle this one like you did the first couple of weeks, I don't think it lines up how you want it to line up at the end. But we'll see how it plays out. We're going to have the live stream all game on NewOrleans.Football. Make sure you're signed up for that. Trips out there at the stadium on location. I'll have your live updates on that throughout the game. And right afterwards, we'll be up on the podcast breaking it all down. So get with us, NewOrleans.Football. I know that's the code, 20% off your first payment. Live reaction, live analysis, live breakdown as it happens. Watch the game with us.